Bills, the dreaded everyday life of being an adult, paying those horrible bills that you just have to pay to keep the lights on, the gas on, the car on the road. And we're going to go through what ours are at the moment before our baby is here. They're going to change, but before it might be interesting to contrast what they are now to what they're probably going to be later on, which we'll do in a separate video. But for this video, we're going to concentrate on what our monthly bills currently are now. We're excluding any kind of loans or the mortgage. These are just bills that typically everyday, such as yourselves, should have. Things like your insurances, your utilities, etc. But we're going to go through them now.
Big one. We've got quite a few different kinds of insurance. Now, some of these are sort of legal requirements, like your buildings insurance that we have to have and your car insurance. But we have got some other insurances that aren't necessarily legal sort of requirements, but for us,
like illegal then.
Well, no, for us, there's something that we feel we need to have. So, like our first one, of course, if you've got a car, you've got to have your car insurance. Now, we paid this annually up front last September, I think it was.
Yeah.
So it works out roughly about £36 a month for fully comprehensive insurance, and you've got 1 year's no claims bonus, I think, on it.
Yeah, 1 year's no claim bonus is what made it much cheaper. I'm only in my second year of driving. Well, yeah,
driving full time. You passed your test and then didn't drive for all.
Yeah, I passed my test and just kind of rented cars as and when I needed them, which is a good way to save money, by the way. Only actually get a car when you need one, such as when you've got a baby on the way. But yeah, after my first year of insurance, it did go down quite a lot, and of course paying annually will mean that you pay much less. Just a side note, tax we haven't really included because it's only £30 a year.
Yeah, we've got, I think it's not in the lowest tax group, our lovely little Hyundai, but it's one of the lowest ones. So it's
Hyundai i10, by the way. We'll do a separate video on that, but yeah, choosing a car with low tax is a good way to go.
Then the next thing, it's not exactly health insurance. We've got what are called like health cashback plans. So Josh is lucky; he gets his for free. Is it free? Well, he gets his as a taxable benefit with work. So I think it works out that it doesn't cost you next to nothing, doesn't it?
Yes, I think I've got to pay the tax on it, but I think they pay me it back. I'm not quite sure. Really, what we were saying is it's a benefit of work, which is why sometimes when you're in the job market, sometimes do check out the benefits. I know we sometimes just ignore them and concentrate on the salary, but do have a look at any benefits. You might actually have some that you're not aware of.
Now, health cash plans aren't quite like health insurance. They don't cover everything that we need privately. So, for example, mine, I think I've got a slightly higher level than Josh does. Mine covers like £150 worth of physiotherapy a year. So if I need a private physio, I don't have to get referred, anything like that. I just go pay for the physio appointment myself, send them a receipt. 5 days later, I've got the money back for it. And I get new glasses every year, don't I?
You do.
Because I can.
Which you're not wearing.
No, which I'm not wearing right now. But you get glasses. Dentists we use because we've both got private dentists. Because it's horrendous.
I've used a dentist. Dentist is the only thing I actually have used of it. We'll cover this in another video because it's quite an interesting topic. Should you get a healthcare plan? Will it actually save you money in the long run?
Next one is income protection insurance. Now this one is £14.38 of the month. Again, not something you legally have to have, but it's good for peace of mind because it covers, I think, accidents, long-term sickness and redundancy. So if you get fired from a job, they're not going to give you anything.
Yes, so this is a big peace of mind. It was at least when we got the mortgage, because it was a 95% mortgage, which we'll cover in another video. But it's also a peace of mind because when Claire goes to maternity leave, I'm going to be the sole breadwinner, so to speak. So it's nice to have that insurance in place just in case anything goes wrong.
We've got it so it will cover the mortgage if anything happens. So it doesn't cover much more than that, but at least we know the mortgage is sorted.
Just the mortgage for 12 months, but it happens instantly. We'll do another video cover this, but some of them will make you wait 3 months before you can get any money out of it. Next is going to be our life insurance and critical illness cover, and Claire will take this one off because
I didn't have to persuade you to get some, did I? I think when we got married, I was like, no, we should really have this.
We should. You might have seen an advert. I think it's by Tom. I think it is, and it's got like Vinnie Jones in it. and Harry Redknapp, and they're quite stern about how important it is to have life insurance. And yes, you convinced me it is really important, because you just never know.
I want to say, because we just got married when we made ours. I had some before we got married, but when we made it joint, I think I was 22, wasn't I? And you were 26 when we got married. So ours is only £19.12 a month, which is quite a good price, because that's because of how young we were when we got it.
Yeah.
And no, like, we didn't have any serious medical conditions, so that can really bump the price up a bit. But basically, if something horrible was to happen to either of us, the whole mortgage is paid off. Any money we owe is paid off. Our funerals all sorted. And it also, like, you don't have to get the critical illness part, but for us, it covers 20 different really nasty illnesses, and we get about 20 grand payout. So if it's less than £20 a month, you're getting, effectively, if something really bad happens, about £200,000. So for us, peace of mind, it doesn't really cost you that much. And think about how much it would cost your family if something did happen. If you could afford it, no reason why you shouldn't be getting life insurance, really, I don't think.
Yeah, so for me, it should be a top of your list of priorities, even before some of the other stuff we're about to mention. Because, as I said, if the worst should happen, you need to think about who you're leaving behind, and that includes any children as well. Home insurance, including home emergency cover. Again, this is something we pay annually, but talk us through the excess. So it's a little bit over £500, I believe. Yes,
so with insurance, if you go for a cheaper one, so normally the higher you choose your voluntary bit of your excess fee, you always have to pay a bit, like mostly about £200, so you've always got to pay £200 if you made a claim, but some of them optionally let you pick to pay a bit more, which means then your premium's lower. So for us, our excess is of £500. So if anything happens on the buildings, it's 500, and on the content, it's 500, which is quite a bit of money. But hopefully we'll never need to claim on it, and we've got an emergency fund that we'd have the money to be able to pay out anyway.
Enough a video on it. I'm getting my head around home insurances, which is crazy because I used to work in insurance. But for example, your little one could smash your TV, but if your TV is only worth £300, you're not really getting it back.
With us, not worth it.
Should you go on holiday and come back to find out that everything's been taken and it's worth £4,000, this is where you can really benefit from it. But we'll talk about that in another video.
One last insurance we need to mention, very important one, this pet insurance for Lacey.
Yes.
Now that, again, I've just paid it now annually. Hers is about £9 a month, but she is 8 years old, so the older your cat gets, or whichever pet you have, the price goes up a bit, but still it covers quite a lot of things for her.
Again, this is an extreme peace of mind.
Yeah.
You've got to think how traumatic it can be to you and even children when your beloved pet gets ill or needs some support. And if you don't have insurance, then
you're looking at hundreds to thousands of
pounds, thousands of pounds. But we're going to do another video because you need to be very careful of what pet insurance you pick, because there are horror stories out there. You need to make sure you understand the policy, basically. But yeah, that's to another video. But moving on to phone and broadband. Now, Claire very well picked out a very big difference between sort of my mobile and her mobile contract. I know this is a budgeting channel, but we're not all perfect. But this was in hindsight, I should have done a little bit more research of the market and see what was better out there. But I really wanted an iPhone 7 because I wanted to do like YouTube style videos, which was a bit silly because in the end I've ended up buying this camera we're using now. My mobile phone contract is a little bit higher. It clears at £28 a month, which still isn't bad for an iPhone 7. I've got unlimited minutes, phone calls, and 13 gig of data. However, Claire, take us through your special deal.
Well, mine's £15 a month, but again, unlimited text, unlimited minutes. It's a SIM only one. I've got a phone that's about 3 years old now, so I've got a very old model of a OnePlus. Yeah. But because at the time when I got the phone out on another contract, it was reasonably modern, it still works brilliantly well. So I thought, I'm not going to get another phone.
It matches my iPhone 7 in almost every way, and I pay more.
So it's £15, unlimited minutes, unlimited text, and I get 20 gig of data, so a bit more than you. And because O2 had a deal on, we've got 3 months worth free of Prime Video, and when that runs out, we get it at a slightly lower price as well. So I thought, why not? I mean, again, I think it was a loyalty thing because we've been with O2 for years.
So we will talk about mobile phone contracts and stuff, but as a side note, just make sure you're looking into the specs of the phone as well as the contract deal. But moving on to broadband. Now, broadband is tricky. Just to let you know, what's not on this list is TV, so like Sky or Virgin Media. This is what normally comes in. We've actually opted to go without it as a way to save money, because to be honest, when we don't have it, we don't miss it.
No, not at all.
Not at all. So our broadband, which you just gone and negotiated a lower deal.
It was £26, so it was £32.50 before, and I thought, well, because it went up last year, sticking with the same people, but we didn't want to go through the hassle switching, because we don't want to be without broadband for 2 weeks, which is really not a good enough excuse, to be honest.
No, it's not. I mean, if we had to, we would. But now with that saving, which is brilliant, I mean, you can make an argument you could probably afford Netflix just about, or something like that.
No, we could. I mean, we also don't have a TV licence because we honestly do not watch live TV. We only watch it at Christmas.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
We had it on for December, didn't we?
Yeah.
We probably put it on end of November, December for like sort of the Christmas TV time. But that's it. Other than that, we have busy lives. We don't sit there watching TV.
No, we watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, don't we? Like,
YouTube's kind of thing is taken over.
So the next thing everybody's got to have is your utility bills. So the first one, we've got our electricity and gas that's about £80 a month.
Yeah, we work really hard on electricity and gas, don't we? We try and be sensible with the heating and electricity. And I'm really impressed that it's £80 a month, because that was roughly what I was paying back when I first moved out, back in it was 2009 when I moved out. I was paying £10 a week on a meter, £10 electric on electric and gas, £10 each, so £20 a week. And I'm amazed that we've still got £80 a month.
The thing is, we are paying on direct debit. Some people aren't lucky enough to have the option to.
Yeah, that's a separate video in itself. But if you can, try and pay by direct debit.
Try and get direct debit and try and get smart meters.
And then water, we've got a water meter, and it comes off about £30 a month. And we'll do another video about water meter, whether you should have it or not, but £30 a month is what we pay. Council tax, we switched to, now you can, we'll talk about it in another video, we can switch this to 12 monthly. It comes to standard 10 monthly, and that kind of throws a few people off budget wise. So you get 2 months where you don't have to pay it, and then all of a sudden you're paying it again, but at like a rate for over 10 months, so it's a little bit higher than sometimes people think.
I want to say it was about £15 a month different by switching it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So it helps for us budgeting wise to do it over 12 months. And we're paying, is that £130 a month we're paying?
£130 a month,
yeah.
But we live up north in one of the cheaper band houses, so yours could be a lot higher than ours. I think ours is actually quite reasonable.
It's one of those things you can't really negotiate. You live where you live, but switching to 12 months can make it a bit easier on when it comes to budgeting and just getting a bit more control of your money. So now this is not a bill, so to speak, but it's a common cost, which is your food bill. Now we're going to do a separate video all covering sort of what we spend on food, especially the differences when we have our young baby with us. But roughly, and we've had several budgets over the years, but roughly at the moment we're on £220. Now that's been £180, I think it's the lowest.
Yes, I don't think we've ever had it lower than that.
And then at the highest, I think...
Well, the first month of lockdown we spent £300.
Yeah, we spent a lot. I think everybody did. There were a few posts. Well, funny enough, the next thing we talk about is petrol. As you know, with lockdown, sort of your food costs went high, but your petrol went low. Petrol, normally, we only spend £25 a month.
Yeah, no, I mean, cars...
This is not in normal circumstances.
Yeah, normally. Car's quite efficient. We don't go on very many big drives.
No,
This is just from dotting about between work and going to shops, really, isn't it?
We work quite close. Asda's round the corner. And we sometimes visit friends, and once a year we'll go to Wales, we'll go to the Wirral near Liverpool where I'm from to visit family. But that's it. I mean, a car is also built for purpose. It's a runaround car. So we got one that was quite efficient, as Claire said, with petrol. So it's costing us as least as possible. And
then the last thing, I suppose, I've called it miscellaneous because some people break things down a lot, like the other bit. But we pay about £100 miscellaneous things. So that's our clothes, takeaways, haircuts, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't anyway at the moment, but we don't go out drinking. That's not. We haven't for a while. So
this is another video which just covered those costs that you don't necessarily need to have, or you could reduce. Get a bit of moderation around. It's things like your visits to coffee houses, visits to pubs, or your nights out, or your takeaways.
Like I think our costs on that when we were younger was a bit higher, especially since before we bought a house and when we lived in the city centre, we would go to Cafe Nero once a week. So then that was quite a bit higher.
Several times. I mean, we'll still sit down once a week and buy a sandwich, but we'd quite often go, let's go and get a coffee.
Yeah, well, especially when we were students. I think we didn't really rein it in. Like coffee shops was where we spent it. We didn't go out clubbing much or anything like that, but coffee shops was where the money went, wasn't it? Yes,
and these are the things you want to look to control. Now they're not bills, so to speak, but we thought it was worth mentioning it because you know, if you ever look at your money, sometimes you'll find out, oh dear, I spend X amount on takeaways every single month or coffees every single month. If I reduce that by half, I could save so much money. And this is what we want people to start thinking about. It's what we start to think about. And
I think the main thing is that we've been doing a budget spreadsheet and keeping track of everything for, I don't know, it's been about over a year. Maybe it's longer than that.
No, it's been years.
No, years, because we were doing it.
We did it as a student because Lloyd's, as a sidetrack a bit, Lloyd's has a money manager and it can show you how you're spending your money. It gives you like little pie graphs to say this little slices on takeaways.
And then our pie chart had this like slice on the coffee.
In fact, enough aside now, one of the things we worked out is that we would draw a lot of money.
That used to be a bit of a...
We would draw money, but we'll spend like £3 in Cafe Nero's, and then where does the change go? Nobody knows. So we realised we'll just stop taking money out, and that actually did help a little bit.
We only take it out for things that are cash only, don't we? Everything else is on our cards now.
But you can learn a lot just by looking at your budget. We still have a budget spreadsheet being created just so you can create your own spreadsheet if you're not sure how to do it. But this is our monthly bills. So we'd love to know in the comments, how do they compare to yours? Are they higher? Are they lower? Do you think we're missing anything? Do you have any tips for the budget baby community? Let us know, as we're really excited, but be prepared because we are going to do a video where we review what our bills are now and how they might change when we have a young baby with us. We'll probably do that about 6 months in.
I think the one thing we will be expecting is the food bill's going to go up higher because we'll need milk.
Food bill, we have to buy nappies, but also we will discuss how income's going to change as well with Claire going on maternity leave. But that's it for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you have found value and you have enjoyed it, please like it. It does help us a lot, and subscribe if you want to see more. But other than that, from me and Claire, we wish you all the best, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.